Hey guys, I'm as excited about this episode as I've been in a long time. This guy I admire a lot. He's got a comedy team with Hunter Biden.
You don't tip at an In-N-Out.
I do.
What, you tip at an In-N-Out?
Yeah, they have to wear those hats. You know what that feels like?
That's sweeping the internet right now. No, he's got a YouTube channel.
Channel 5.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood invited.
And we don't fuck with costumes.
Channel 5. He has another YouTube channel called All Gas No Brakes,
Everybody feel like that.
which apparently he bought back from who knows who.
Doing Things Media.
Anything else you got that's popping?
No, I think that pretty much covers it.
So he's Andrew Callaghan. That's my point.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, bro. So as somebody who's way older than you, I'm very excited about what you do because it's like homemade, and I would like to talk to you about obviously the huge downside of everything being homemade.
Yeah.
The huge toll, which is a lot of your blocks, but also, like, what was your plan? Because now you have 3 million followers on Channel 5 and or subs, whatever you want to call it. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
Well, at the very beginning, I went to school for journalism, and I wanted to be a traditional like newspaper reporter or just work for maybe like Vice or somewhere cool. By the time I graduated college, there was no media jobs left. Like probably out of my class of 100 people in journalism school, 10 people had jobs, and those jobs were like $45K a year working at TV stations.
And were they like hooked up?
No, it was like $45K a year.
I'm saying were the kids hooked up? How'd they get those jobs?
Just through like random like job feeder programs at our school. But they were in like shithole second-rate cities because the company was called Gray Media that everyone was getting jobs with. And they exclusively had stations in the worst cities imaginable. Like Elk City, Oklahoma, Panama City Beach, Florida, Lansing, Michigan. It was like everywhere on the map that has less than 100,000 people, Gray Media controls the media
Fantastic.
market. So I wanted to just do my own thing and not have to do that. Started hitchhiking around the country and then convinced a company to buy me an RV, and then got into a
So hitchhiking, you have a camera.
Yeah.
Do you have a crew?
Yeah, it's like me and one other dude. The first concept for All Gas No Brakes was a hitchhiking road show where it would be like taxi cab confessions, except the person being interviewed is the guy who picks us up off the side of the road.
Yeah.
But then we realized that was just like equipment-wise so hard to do because it's like rigging a GoPro to the mirror and shit.
All right, you will drive us. That's cool. Okay, can we take 15 minutes and rig your car?
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how to rig anything. So we're like trying to
Did
use
you
a
tell people,
suction
like, all right,
mount.
we don't know how to do it. Can you help us rig your car for our content?
So we tried to put like these suction mounts on the hood of the car and use like a Rode lav mic to put in the guy's pocket and be like, yo, so where are you from? And he'd be like, I don't like this anymore. I want to drop you guys off. So an RV was like the upgraded version of the hitchhiking model.
Right. Okay, so then what happens?
Well, I just made like a comedic road show going to like conventions and different shit. And then gradually, as the world got serious around 2020, protests, pandemic and everything, I started covering that. As an extension
It's so
of the
funny
because
I feel like I knew about you before that. I must have been early to it or something.
I mean, I had started making videos in 2018 in December.
Okay.
So you might have seen like my New Orleans street interviews where I was like asking people their deepest, darkest secret. That was like my college side hustle that I would do after work because I used to work in the French Quarter.
Everybody be live on Bourbon.
Okay.
But like, no, you pretty much would have saw me in 2020. Unless you were like super
in
dialed
Ferguson
in.
and all that shit?
It was in Minneapolis.
Or
Ferguson was like
my
before
fault.
my time.
Okay. All right, it was Minneapolis, but I felt like I knew you by then. Okay, and then do you have an approach for interviews? Because it seems like you just it seems like if I thought you were cynical, I would think you were giving them enough rope to hang themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But it seemed because the sense I get is that you're genuinely curious and genuinely empathetic.
Totally.
And that's true.
I think so, yeah.
And so do you ever find yourself going like, you gotta fucking shut up.
Yeah, all the time.
Hurry up.
It's kind of my biggest battle is pushing through that. But sometimes I give them the rope, but I really just give them the airtime. Like, I just I'm a passive listener. But also I do these things where I call it the toddler nod, where I'll just like this. So you're not like really edging them on too hard where you're like, fuck yeah, man, keep going. But you're not judging them. You're just kind of giving them the space to speak their mind. And
You've heard the thing that FBI pro he was a negotiator who said the key with negotiating with terrorists is just read them back what they've said. And they're like, and most of the time they just drop the problem at that. They stop they're like, you just go, if I understand you correctly, you're mad that the government is doing this to your family, and they're like, thank you, and that it ends.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a form of that you do.
I think it's called the mirroring technique a little bit. You can get into trouble doing that sometimes. So if, for example, if someone is like a super hardcore Holocaust denier, I'm not going to fully mirror them because that'd be disingenuous, but I will allow them to finish their train of thought.
Even though you are a Holocaust denier, you don't want to be disingenuous.
Yeah, because if I'm like, dude, you're so right. Didn't happen at all.
Yeah.
Hollywood production. Then they like see my work after. They'll be like, that guy was lying to me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if they take it too far, you can't do the mirroring thing. But it's funny you mentioned law enforcement because cops have kind of a similar job to me. And it's funny because I'm not the most pro-cop guy,
right?
But they show up where it's popping at, do the who, what, when, where, why, speak to the person that's the most passionate, diagnose, assess, and report. So, like, I feel like when you go up the chain of law enforcement interrogation, you're basically just getting to better and better journalists.
Yeah, you get to, like, the Woodward Bernstein, like, you get that. That's the good cop, bad cop of, like...
Yeah.
So he like one guy slams the door, the other guy comes in like, look, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, if you give it to me straight, yeah, that's funny. I wanted to talk about how you withhold judgment on your subjects.
It's not withholding. I don't have it. I don't have judgment on the subjects. Everyone's like
but you're an intelligent guy. I mean, you have a political opinion. I know you're more left than right. You believe in a social safety net. You believe in like basically classic either democratic or socialist somewhere, right?
I agree, yeah.
If somebody's there's disagreeing and there's also like this person's dead wrong.
Yeah.
Do you try to have equal time within packages?
Well, it just depends because, like, let's say I'm talking to a conspiracy theorist, right? Someone like a flat earther or someone who's like really out there. I know that there's a thread of truth that pushed them off the edge. For example, the flat earthers. The earth is not flat. However, one thing they'll say is they're like,
Also, fuck you. Okay, go ahead.
They'll say, like, for example, right? It is true that perhaps to win the Cold War in some way or gain advantage over the Soviets, there may have been some added production value in the moon landing video.
Oh, okay. So you believe, is that where people get that from?
Yeah, it's possible. I'm not saying we didn't go to the moon, but it's possible that the video and stuff like that was part of a concerted effort to beat the Soviets in the arms race. By showing
you're open to that idea. That's not beyond the pale for you.
Right. So then that's something I could probably connect with a flat earther on is what else did we do during the Cold War to make it seem like we had a leg up over the Soviets? Were we installing dictators in countries that wanted to make healthcare affordable?
Okay, then they start saying nonsense.
Well, they say, well, you know who was behind the moon landing is NASA, and you know who controls NASA, right? Israel.
Okay, yeah, I figured. Okay. You know that this person, pretty much without a shadow of a doubt, even in the modern definition of shadow and doubt, is wrong.
Well, yeah,
but you also know this is about to be entertaining.
And also, I don't know that their soul is like rotten or if they're like malicious. I think so that's why I'm withholding judgment of them as a person. However, I'm definitely judging their informational like literacy skills. I'm definitely thinking you don't understand how to differentiate between real information and posts made on Facebook by a crazy man.
How much patience do you have for that, though?
A lot of patience. A lot of patience.
A lot of patience.
Yeah, because
you gave the Trump on that.
I'm also entertained because it's like, wow, I really like to know how people got there. Because I'm a guy that likes to do alternative research and look into things.
Yeah.
So when I'm meeting someone,
you're cool. You're a cool guy.
I'm like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah. Okay. And then do you go? This is where I get into like, okay. Is he giving them enough rope? Meaning, at a certain point, it becomes entertaining.
Yeah.
Right? It like once you're going like, oh, this is a maniac. If you can take a little bit of maniac and then it becomes nonsense and you have to cut away.
Yes.
So that's where when you're editing kind of on the fly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just like people too, and I connect with them, but I try not to I don't do ambush interviews anymore. Meaning like I am talking to somebody and letting them say the dumbest shit ever so that I can put it out and people will be like, what an idiot.
How do you get around it?
I just don't go to events where really dumb people are at.
Oh, okay.
Or I don't want to say dumb. People with low informational literacy.
Sure.
I'm not going to different UFO events across the Southwest anymore. I would like to do it again for all gas, no brakes, though, for sure. But as opposed to like weird people who don't know what the hell's going on. Well, actually, as opposed to misinformed people for all gas 2.0, I'm just gonna like do cool subcultural deep dives. Like I'm going to the Gathering of the Juggalos finally next week. I'm going to a
long time coming.
I'm going to a punk festival called Skullfest in Pittsburgh, and then I'm going to these. I have a lot of cool stuff happening.
Yeah, great. You must think about exploitation a lot. Like, am I because a lot of the people are fucked up. Mm-hmm. And meaning like either they're on drugs or they're drunk. Mm-hmm. I don't even, but now having said that, I don't think they're lying.
Yeah.
And where do you draw the line with that shit?
Well, it's like every documentary filmmaker that I look to has a different answer for that question. Like, is it worth exploiting somebody? Is it worth talking to somebody that's in like a hopeless position if what they're telling you, delivers some universal truth about that moment in time that's really important? Mm-hmm. If I interview someone who's hysterical at a crime scene, is that exploiting them in a time where they're really emotional, that they should be given space, or is that passion that they're producing important to deliver to people? And if I'm the vehicle for that can be like meaningful. It depends. One thing that I try to avoid is like hating on my younger self. You know what I mean? Yep. A lot of people get into this thing when they get older where they're like, oh man, when I was a kid, I was a piece of shit. Yeah. Like whenever I was interviewing people on acid at festivals.
Were you on acid the first time you saw Jesus?
Yes.
I was 21 years old.
And you were on acid yourself probably half the time.
Yeah, and I didn't feel bad about it at all. Would I do it again? Would I go back now as a 28-year-old man to a party strip like 6th Street in Austin or Bourbon Street and go ask random people what's the freakiest shit you ever done? No. But I'm not going to pretend like, I had some huge moral conflict about that drove me into politics.
Also, didn't you do like a glory hole not long ago?
It must have been a long time ago.
No. I don't mean like a glory hole.
No.
Like,
I've never been in a glory hole in general. I'm saying
I don't think they exist.
I filmed Folsom Street Fair, which had a piss pool.
Does it feel degrading at all?
There's a deliciousness to being degraded.
There was something I saw where you had a camera set up for like public confession pretty recently.
That was at Super Chief Gallery in downtown LA, and that was like a filmed confessional.
I f***ed one of my friend's boyfriends.
It wasn't a hidden camera.
No. I know it was, but it was a film confessional, and it was like...
Yeah. That was like a return to form experiment. But I wasn't asking people. It was kind of sort of a experiment to talk about
I think they understood.
The things that people will say for attention.
Got it.
The underlying thing is like people are willing to tell the world the worst thing they've ever done because the trade-off is like I'll get attention for it even though it's at the expense of me being shamed for what I'm saying.
Where are you on that as Americans? I mean, it seems like the younger someone is, the more willing to do it they are.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's also as I'm getting older, like I'm just changing. I'm becoming more mature, and the kind of things that I liked covering before, I have a hard time doing now.
Okay. Well, what's your hierarchy of, I don't want to say importance, but like you were somewhere quickly recently. I mean, by the way, I was going to tell you, you can't stay at nice hotels because the minute you do, you must only stay at like Motel 6, like
one
Holiday.
time I stayed at like the Four Seasons in Vegas.
You
which
can't
is
do
like,
that.
Well, I did it for like a week, and it didn't feel right.
Well, also because when you go back, it's gonna feel like hell.
Yeah,
you just have to like wait till your 30th birthday or something.
Not to mention, like they treat you like shit when you're acquiring luxury services when you're a kid. Like I remember when I was 23, I tried to stay at this like super 5-star hotel in Seattle, and they thought I was like some rich asshole with like wealthy parents, or they thought I was a credit card scammer. Right. So they would run my name and just treat me with like disdain. I can't rent a luxury car, a first class seat. I can't buy a first class ticket without people kind of shading me. Yeah. Now it's going away, but that's why I can't wait to be 30, and why I wish I had facial hair.
Keep at it, kid.
Ageism is real. I can't imagine being like a 21-year-old.
You have no idea the respect I get. You never really get respect.
Fuck,
in my experience, you don't ever really get respect.
So I'm not going to turn 40 and people like respect me?
Sir, no.
Why?
Because people, by the way, if you're in like first class or something, people don't like you. People are just giving you the evil eye on the way in. Someone hit me with a bag of trash one time, and I was on her side. I'm sitting in first class, and she bopped me, and I was like, I get it.
Yeah,
I totally get like the urge. Anyway, what I was gonna say. Okay, so the hierarchy of importance. Where did you just go? You were somewhere like in the last 10 days where it was like on the ground quickly.
Could have been Albuquerque. Could have been Hunter Biden interview.
Well, Hunter, but weren't you just in Tijuana?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty dangerous in Mexico.
Or Albuquerque, just the pills thing?
When is it incumbent upon us as a society to help people who can't help themselves? We got to think of it in those terms. Otherwise, we're just stepping on our own dick.
What's your hierarchy of importance?
Well, I care about the drug crisis. Immigration and homelessness is also important. A lot of it's informed by just the things I saw growing up between Seattle and Philadelphia. So that kind of stuff too. But also, like, I'm relaunching All Gas No Breaks. We're filming like a new episode every week so we can come out with an episode all the time. Like, our goal is to come out with an episode every week in 2026 for All Gas No Breaks. And for that particular show, I'm looking for a semi-return to form, like subculture deep dives, less politically motivated stuff. Like,
is that for your own sanity, or
it's just for sanity, and it's just like more fun for me. I like the idea of being able to do two things. Put my serious hat on and, you know, put this suit on and hit the RV. Like, we just went to an adult baby gathering.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and it was just like a bunch of adults, and, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory.
I figured it out. And so do you find, was the Hunter Biden thing, were you surprised by how popular it was, or were you kind of like disappointedly? It was like very popular, more popular, but all your shit's very popular, but it seemed a little more popular than most of your stuff. Mm-hmm. Were you a little disappointed by like how obvious it was?
Which part?
Like, oh, you want to hear about the drug addict?
Yeah. Well, I was more disappointed by watching the mainstream news cycle just totally pick apart and misinterpret what Hunter was saying.
In a more than 3-hour-long expletive-laden interview with podcaster Andrew Callaghan, Hunter Biden lashes out at Democrats who he says betrayed his father.
It's a 3.5-hour interview. We talked about addiction, so many different things. Like, and the only thing that they really combed from it was him saying fuck George Clooney and him explaining the difference chemically between crack and powdered cocaine. That's all you saw. And they also focused on the profanity. It was such a trip. Like, I'm sitting in Phoenix right after the adult baby gathering.
Of course.
I posted at 6 a.m. By 9 a.m., Ted Cruz, Nayib Bukele, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Sean Hannity, Jesse Waters, Matt Walsh, they're all reporting on just specifically the crack cocaine clip, and then their discourse is all shaming him for saying the F word.
Yeah, even though Trump had just said it 3 weeks before.
Kellyanne Conway was like, this potty mouth punk needs to stop smoking crack. And it's funny because that's exactly what Hunter Biden told me would happen. I didn't believe him. I'm like, dude, we're sitting here for 3.5 hours. You're telling me they're going to take one specific thing from this and they're going to set the tone for the entire media cycle, both right and left? He said, yeah. Because even
the left was
what
doing
they
it?
call liberal media, CNN, MSNBC, I would call it like basically centrist media. They're all also talking about profane tirade. So it's funny because like the tone gets set and everybody falls in line just out of ease because these journalists are like, let's report about it in a way that's already being talked about.
Okay, what you're doing, I think, is great, and it's there's no such thing as objectivity. Mm-hmm. It's your subjectivity, which I would argue is pretty broad and unbiased. Not without everyone's got bias, right? Yeah. I think you would say what your biases are. I don't think you corner people on it. So what I'm wondering about is how do you scale this up?
In terms of Channel 5?
Like what's because obviously it's valuable. I don't think you're going to get less popular.
No.
So I'm wondering about is like how do you get this? Because with any news organization, it just becomes they have a footprint and infrastructure, and CNN can send people to Cairo and Dubai and fucking Shanghai and whatever.
Yeah,
you're paying out of pocket.
Yeah. One thing I had an interview with Shane Smith, who founded Vice, and I asked him, I was like, whenever you're scaling up, what are the biggest mistakes that you made? Because obviously Vice went under.
Yeah.
And he said we scaled up too quickly. So we had something like 55 Vice offices, Singapore office, Copenhagen office, like 16 different offices in Europe, offices in Africa. And it's because, you know, people got so into the content, they were like, let's go everywhere. I'm trying to avoid that. So right now, I'm trying to get into the Mexican media market. So I have a team of correspondents.
How come?
there.
Why Mexico?
Well, because I speak fluent Spanish.
Okay.
And I feel like I want to imagine Channel 5 is like some kind of virus spreading across the country. I want the outbreak of the contagion to be the United States, and we sort of spread in both directions across the world. Because we say Channel 5 worldwide, So it has to be a fluid thing. One day we'll have a news station in every city and country, and I think that we'll overtake the global media market. But first, let's do Mexico. Let's do Canada.
By the way, I don't disagree with you.
And think about if I did this conceptually, right? Up through Canada, through the Yukon Territory, get some Alaskan coverage, take the now dissolved Bering Sea land bridge over to Siberia, dominate the Siberian Inuit media market, go down to South Korea, because we'll probably have to jump over North Korea, and then Japan, mainland China, finally make our way to the great country of Vietnam, and then take on Australia. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro, come on.
Europe last. And no offense to the Europeans out there, but I'm not that interested by European culture and politics. We got all the best elements of it here.
How come?
I don't know.
Okay. Don't you think it's? But what I'm clearly, you think what you're doing is valuable, and clearly you think I think it's somewhat civic minded. Mm-hmm. Why? Obviously, it'll just be your preference of where to go, but you're not going to be able to. You're going to have to. You're gonna have to trust a lot of people.
Well, at the risk of sounding self-righteous here, I'd prefer to give people airtime who historically haven't had access to much.
Okay.
I don't mean minorities in the United States. I mean people have never seen something like Channel 5 in Mexico. Mm-hmm. What does an authentic Mexican all gas, no brakes look like? That's something that people would like to see, as opposed to London. You know what I mean?
Cause it's saturated.
It's saturated, and we already have a lot of fans there. And I nothing but love to the Europeans, especially the Irishmen.
Please.
But it's I see that as they've got media pretty much covered over there. There's some amazing sort of Channel 5 inspired interview shows out there already.
Great. Okay, well, let's do some blocks.
Yeah.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Look, how much more could one man possibly say about mental health and therapy? Are you sick of it yet? I'm kind of sick of it. It's kind of my thing, but you want to have other things. Anyhow, you ever felt overwhelmed? How has that impacted your decision making? These days, it feels like there's advice for everything. Cold plunges, gratitude journals. Shut up, that's a little too close to home. But how do you know what actually works for you? Taint. Remember when people were sunning their taints? With the internet and information overload about mental health and wellness, it can be a struggle to know what's true and what actions to take these days. Using trusted resources and talking to live therapists can get you personalized recommendations and help you break through the noise. Again, therapy from the age of 23, I think, changed my life, made me set boundaries. I still set them to this day. Got me into other programs. It was a cascade of goodness. It made me actually realize how I felt. I always say, go to therapy to tell on yourself. Here are the selling points. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. Out of 8 billion, that's not many, but they've served over 5 million people globally. It's convenient too. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapist at any time. Here's the call to action. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/NEAL. That's BetterHelp.com/NEAL. BetterHelp.com/Neal. Hey, I don't like to waste a lot of time at lunch. I don't like meeting people for lunch. Hey, Neal, what can you be persnickety about? I'm persnickety about it. Lunch is one of the things. I don't want to sit for an hour. I want to sit for an hour and do what I want to do. I don't want to sit there and watch you fill up on bread. What's good for me is I got Huel. I was drinking it before they sponsored it. I'm still drinking it. This is the black edition. It's got 35 grams of protein. It's got 27 vitamins and minerals, 6 grams of fiber, plant-based and non-GMO. The point is it's legitimately delicious. Boom. I'm supposed to hold a shaker up. I didn't bring it. I brought my own, the one that I ordered before they started sponsoring. I have the Cribs thing. You know when you watch a Cribs and you'd be like, how does that big celebrity have all that sports drink lined up in their fridge? By the way, a lot of time it was a rental. I just found that out recently. A lot of the houses on Cribs. I'm not here for that. It's spelled Huel. Their black edition is a complete meal so you can feel full, focused, and ready for your day. It's affordable, and with little prep, you can grab and go. Look, Huel's already sold over 500 million meals around the world, And now it's your turn to try it. New customers get 15% off at HUEL.com when you use my code NEAL. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do I direct commercials sometimes. So I'm going to show you, I think we've done this before. You hold it at the bottom so you can, with the logo out. Actually, I need to switch hands. You hold it at the bottom with the logo out. Actually, I got to switch hands again. Ooh, okay. You hold it at the bottom with the logo out. You twist it off. Pretty good. This cap doesn't really come off. It stays on in a good way. Here's the call to action. That's 15% off for new customers using my exclusive code NEAL at HUEL.com. Please see our description for the terms and conditions. Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition. Sounds like a rhyme, isn't a rhyme. Huel.com. Promo code Neal. Well, the first thing the thing that is crazy about you that I really related to was your drug horror story.
Oh, yeah.
Your mushroom horror story, which I had a similar thing on, which I may have DM'd you, but I had a similar thing on 5-MeO-DMT. But please tell people your, I can't remember the initials.
Oh, HPPD. It's hallucinogen persisting perception disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly afflicts like 1 in every 20 psilocybin users.
1 in 20?
Yeah, with a higher frequency in young users.
Okay.
So I think it has something to do with doing psychedelic drugs before your brain is fully developed.
Age of 25, roughly.
Yeah, and I grew up in Seattle mostly, which has a super hardcore, like, folksy acid and shroom scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I was smoking weed in 8th grade, getting into shrooms in 9th grade, and did, actually a normal amount of shrooms in 9th grade, maybe in 8th. And then just since then, I've been afflicted by this strange visual disorder.
Just so you do it one night, as you said, in one of the...
It was a fun trip. That's the thing. It wasn't a bad trip.
Yep.
I just woke up with like visual snow, floaters, tracers, everything stationary appeared to move. And it was just, it's happening right now. Everywhere I look, there's like intense visual snow.
This started how long ago?
Wow, it's crazy to think it's been 14 years. And it happened
more than half your life.
Yeah.
Half your life.
Or more, given the fact that I can't remember anything before I was 5. Actually, I remember 9/11 and I was 3, but that's about it.
Oh, we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
We don't have no time for that tangent. So since you're 14, you've got floaters, tracers, things are shaking, vibrating, moving constantly.
Yeah.
Without any. If I do my shoulder, it stops. There's no tricks.
No, there's no tricks and no cure. However, it's just visual. So it's not like as intense as schizophrenia where you're like having thoughts beamed into your head or you're having auditory hallucinations. It's a purely visual cosmetic thing. So I learned to lean more into other senses, music, touch, smell, those kind of things. So now I'm like more grounded in those things. It's not like I'm experiencing psychosis. Did you feel like I fucked myself? Yeah, and there's a lot of shame after that because you're like, fuck. I did this drug that everyone told me I was not supposed to do.
Right.
And now look at me. Brain fried.
Yeah.
Egg on the frying pan.
Uh-huh. And how'd you get out of it?
Out of brain fry?
Well, out of feeling that way.
I'm in it, brother. How did I externalize and not focus on it?
How did you stop, shaming yourself?
Just getting older and shrooms becoming more acceptable. Like when you're in 11th grade. I told all my friends, but now I could tell my parents they don't care.
Did you tell anybody back then but your friends?
Yeah, and they were like, bro, it's chill. Just do more. You probably just...
Oh, I know. People's fucking prescription is like, do the worst thing.
Yeah.
Hair of the dog, bro.
Yeah, like, bro, you just didn't do enough. Like, take a heroic dose and you'll see it through.
Yeah. Yeah, I've thought, because they know a lot about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you go to school and then you start the thing. One of the blocks, a lot of them are work-based, but that's what we're here for. Navigating fame as a young person without the opportunity to grow up normally from 21 to 30.
Yeah, it's been horrible.
Which sounds like a fake, it's been horrible. But explain when you say that, what's that mean?
Well, I don't want to just say horrible because the transition from being regular to being famous is one of the coolest things you can experience.
Mm-hmm. It's like you're in a montage.
It's amazing. That transition, in terms of just awkwardness going away, when you become recognizable, if I'm traveling somewhere new, Like I'm in Salt Lake City, somewhere I've never been.
Yep.
I can walk into a coffee shop or a dive bar or like somewhere cool, and people are like, "Oh my God, it's you!" And all of a sudden, it's like you've got friends everywhere.
Yeah.
But once that goes away and you realize you can't really travel anonymously, which was my favorite thing to do ever.
Right.
And you start to kind of wish you could go back, but it's not something that people are very sympathetic to because everybody wants to be famous. At least most people do, especially nowadays. You ask my grandparents' generation, nobody wanted to be famous.
Yeah.
But most people now have sort of a main character thing, and they have their social media following, and they're kind of terminally online trying to grow their following all the time. So everyone's kind of become an LLC in themselves. So somebody with a higher market value on their name, because everyone's a brand, complaining about it, to them feels like a sore winner.
But what's the what is bad about it? Is the anonymity?
Extremely insincere relationships.
Yeah.
Very conditional relationships. And a lot of people think, oh, that's just because you're in LA and this place is full of social climbers. If anything, people act more normal to me here because they're used to seeing people that are levels above me in fame, such as like Post Malone or Billie Eilish or something.
Yeah.
For me, if I am in Pittsburgh, and I love Pittsburgh.
You're the Post Malone of Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Basically.
So, I mean, I just kind of wish that I would have not tried to become famous so bad or tried to succeed so bad and would have set myself up for a more sustainable growth model as opposed to like go for this
instead of the Vice model that you're doing.
Yeah, like, like this, I wanted it so bad.
Well, that's interesting because like hearing you talk, like you watch because you're so sort of guileless on camera and like you're not like Andrew Callaghan, Channel 5 News. You're not doing any of that shit, and you're not. So I think people think you're like you stumbled into the whole thing, and I'm watching it going like, no, this is all planned, and this guy's ambitious.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another thing too, before I don't want to cut you off, but I wanted to mention the loneliness of the road, because I lived in an RV when I was getting really famous, made me do this weird thing. Because I was lonely and simultaneously famous, where I'd go to a random town. I remember one time I was in Reno, and I would do this almost every couple days. I'd go to a bar, and I would post my location, and I'd say, everybody come kick it. And I would go to the RV for an hour, and I would go back to the bar, and there'd be like 100+ people there who were like fanatical Channel 5 fans, and it felt like every day was my birthday.
Dude, I had that thought yesterday about fame. Is every day's your birthday, but by the way, everyone you meet, it's their birthday too because they got to meet a famous person, and it's like you kind of just everybody gets a little gacked.
And the fear is, if you let them down, you're in trouble.
Yeah. So what would you do to not let them down?
I was bad at that.
You would let them, but how?
I don't know. I just
like meaning you would just like
I wouldn't
get weirded out, or you would get hammered, or you'd get
hammered is a part of it. I really just wouldn't meet the expectation that they wanted because I didn't say anything, and I had this affable suit man character. People assigned this personality to me that matched them. So I would meet hippies, I'd meet punk rockers, I'd meet bikers.
You're like me, man.
And rap kids who just assumed that we were sort of on the same page.
Yeah.
And when I wasn't able to connect with them, sometimes they would feel betrayed.
Well, is the affable suit man premeditated?
I just thought.
Or was it just like you just were like you went to a thrift store and that's what they had?
Yeah, I went to a thrift store for the first time when I started doing this job, and I was like, it'd be funny if I wore a giant suit and did this, and it was funny. And but I am sort of affable and calm and agreeable in life.
Yeah.
So the character, the only thing I did was play up the awkwardness a bit more for the all gas suit man. I'm not actually awkward.
Do you find you have a relatively flat affect, which I also do?
Sometimes, yeah.
Are you frustrated by it?
Yeah, sometimes because I feel like some people want a bigger reaction from me.
Yeah.
When people compliment me, it makes me feel bad.
I know. People are like, cheer up, or like, just smile. I'm like, no, I'm very excited that I just don't know. I can't get whatever I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to do it. I mean, I can.
When people compliment me and stuff, it's like, I don't want to let them down by not reacting. So I really appreciate it, but how I express appreciation is just like in a pensive way. I'm like, oh man, thanks.
Yeah.
But if I want people to people are like, I love your journalism. I'm like, I'm scared that I won't like give them what they want in return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you probably won't.
Yeah. And so now I just kind of keep to myself.
Smart. You should shut down. You should shut down emotionally.
Yeah.
You're happy to be famous. You're happy to be successful, but you wish you had just sort of like been a little. Was it about being in the RV versus was it the isolation versus like the saturation?
Well, I wasn't able to build community because I was constantly moving.
Right.
So I would build all these temporary communities and,
Well, what do you make of the parasocial relationship? Meaning, come kick it. Everybody comes to kick it.
Well, I mean, I don't want to hate on it because
no, I don't. But but what I'm saying is, what did you think it was going to be, and then when did you realize, like, oh fuck, this isn't.
Well, because like all my fans are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like our demographic is cool. So I actually would hang out with every single Channel 5 fan.
Yeah.
But I can't because I don't have enough time.
Right.
And so that's pretty much it.
So the fame part and the loss of anonymity. I'm sure you've thought about like. You're kind of tall, though, is the problem.
Yeah, what, like having some disguise?
Yeah. Something. I mean, I'm sure you could get decent prosthetics. The problem with prosthetics is they always look prosthetic.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I wanted to ask you about before I saw it was a block, which is hiring friends versus hiring professionals and mixing personal friendship with work. Which is a lot of these blogs are kind of because I know you have to do this by hand. It's like even the whatever I watched the Fennel one, the Albuquerque one today, and it was like you're one of the editors.
Yeah, I edit most of all my stuff.
So and then you're working with other editors, and you're probably in the same. I've watched you do shit. You guys are all in the same room. Like it's hard to have boundaries.
Yeah. Well, all I ever wanted to do is put my homies on, give my day one friends who always supported me jobs. I never wanted to hire people who are in unions or in the field and scout all these professionals to hold cameras and go with me on the road. I promised my best friends when I was younger.
By the way, you're pro-union though, right?
I'm pro-union. I'm just saying.
You just didn't.
Firstly, I don't want to sound like I was trying to get undocumented labor, but I'm saying like I didn't want to like tap into like actually skilled people.
I've always said that. Like when things get too professional, I get uncomfortable.
I would ask my friend who's never held a camera before, like, do you know where the record button is? Can you please take this? When I was a kid, I always told all my friends, my best friend in particular, who I no longer talk to, it's sad, but I told him, I said, one day I'm going to get all of us jet skis and we're going to live in a dope house in the water, not in the water, on the water, maybe Lake Washington, all together. We're going to be rich and we're going to use the jet skis to get from place to place because all of our friends are going to live on the fucking water.
Of course, bro.
And we're not going to need to do anything. And, so I had the jets. I was a rapper when I said that, a high school rapper, but the jet ski dream is something that I carried far. And also the Conditions of All Gas No Brakes, which is like an old RV from 2002. You had to have your friends come with you because no professional in their right mind would ever put themselves in that environment. Like
it's just a bunch of dudes, right? It's
yeah,
a bunch of
so you want those
22-year-olds
dudes to be your homies.
Yeah,
and so, but time and time again, it's weird, bro. I learned the same lessons over and over again, but I continue to repeat the patterns. Not always, and I'm just a people pleaser, But even now, like, I employ half of my friends, of the Channel 5 workforce, which is like 10 people. Half of them are homies. Half of them, it's a more professional thing. But the homies that I have hired have been with me through a lot, so I trust them.
Who resents who?
Friends are more likely to resent you if they're day ones. The best kind of friends, I call them day twos. People who didn't know you on the playground, didn't know you in high school when you had braces and you guys were going to house parties.
Your second wife.
Yeah, exactly. People who met you after you already succeeded, who know you as a successful person and respect you in that regard. Because they won't resent you or feel like it should be them,
The people that you hire, would they be the day twos, the hires?
Yeah, day ones are all bad because like if you guys come up together and even if they're your cameraman, at first they'll appreciate the job, but as you become more successful and then you kind of get like the clout, like,
and you have to go do fancy shit like this.
They start to see themselves as the tragically unsung heroes of like a band.
You got to be careful, bro.
Yeah,
I'm telling right now, the way you're talking, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
but you're going to engender a lot of, because what's going to happen is one of these people's friends is going to send this clip to them.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck them.
And they're going to be like, but it's very hard to explain to somebody like that. You don't want to have to pull rank.
Mm-hmm.
But
and I also want to say this can happen.
It happens 100% of the time,
and it's not just with famous people.
No, it's of course it's with fucking people who run juice places.
If you live in like the slums, this could happen if you got a job managing a Golden Corral.
Absolutely.
It's not just limited to people who have had movie deals. This is like when you have a group of friends and one of them achieves something. There's going to be some resentment. And I hoped that I could get around that resentment by bringing them along, but it actually made it even worse.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the remedy is, which is like just give people envelopes of cash. Mm-hmm. I really think that could help.
The problem is if the envelope that you give them is anything less
than exactly what they wanted,
or anything less than exactly what you get, they see every dollar of the disparity as a grand theft.
Yep.
It's the minds of people.
Well, I know, but it's like whatever those like money games where it's like, I don't want you. They put $5 and you can split it, or one gets 10 and the other gets 9. Like, people. Yeah, it really is. It's an ongoing tragedy.
Yeah,
that just I don't see how to fight it and then where you'll end up is a lot of times what happens is you'll hire all day twos. And then you'll go to work and be like, fucking, it's not the same feel. Yeah. It's like, it'll just be like work.
Totally.
Instead of a vision quest.
I also have a friend group now that doesn't work for me.
Oh, great.
So it's like I can meet up with them on equal footing. Not that I feel like my friends who work for me are like subjugated. But
it'll fuck up a friendship.
Yeah, if you're their boss.
Okay. So I wish you all the best with hiring friends versus professionals.
Yeah.
All right. Again, never being satisfied and prioritizing work over all else, being a workhorse and navigating workaholism. Work. There's three works in that. Well, okay. Wait, can I defend you before you even? It's pretty satisfying. Yeah. I mean, it must be pretty satisfying to have a side hustle in 2018 to just go like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to Minneapolis in 2020, and then like kind of blink and be on my podcast. No, it's kind of blink and like the sort of world is your oyster, so to speak.
Yeah,
like I would argue you are one of the number one sources for unbiased journalism on earth.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I mean exactly. I really appreciate that. The workaholism has paid off.
Yeah. And it often does.
But it's taken a toll on the people around me. And the problem is I work so hard that I forget that I can't treat people like I treat myself. Because I wake up every morning and I think, I'm going to work and make the illest piece of journalism possible from the moment I open my eyes until I physically can't.
You're talking as yourself right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until I literally collapse, and I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do it again tomorrow because I love this shit. But then I also realize, like, I can't expect everyone that I work with to get on that frequency.
I know.
They've got lives, they've got interests, and at the end of the day, they're not me. So they're not seeing as much of the benefit in terms of like people recognizing you from the work. They're just the guy, behind the camera or editing. Like I was at Wawa in Philly the other day, and I'm checking out. I got a cheesesteak, and the guy behind there is like, "Yo, I love the Hunter Biden interview." And I was like, "The guy at Wawa watched it." They don't get that. And so I do really think that in that way, fame kind of does reward the good work that you do.
Yeah.
Because people tell you, like, that was sick.
Yeah.
When they don't have that, the incentive is less. And also, I just got to remind myself all the time not to project my workaholic standards on other people. That's a big problem.
Can you what's interesting about you is you seem like media trained. Mm-hmm. Meaning you give very succinct answers and like... Yeah. Like totally. You see the end before you start, and like the end. Would you want to interview you?
Yeah, I would love to interview me. It's just, I don't know. I'm not dead inside or anything, but I have a hard time expressing myself because I've been through a lot of things.
Is that really? What do you mean?
I'm not gonna do like a woe is me.
No, I don't think you're going to. I mean
I lost like my mind after the shroom shit when I was younger, and my parents had just split, and just like high school was just a nightmare, and college was crazy, and then it ends, and there's no jobs, and I live in an RV for years, and I get a movie on HBO, and that's sort of taken from me, and I got to rebuild from scratch, and I'm up again. I'm interviewing the president's son and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck's going on?
Well, it's dizzying, which dizzying in a good way is discussed.
And I also lost all gas, no brakes that I had built. I've just had to restart, and it just keeps working.
How do you lose it?
It's a boring contractual dispute.
Okay, got it.
But I got it back.
And when you say it keeps working, what do you mean?
I keep succeeding.
I know, but so what's the part that's
things always seem like it's the worst thing ever. It keeps
that's
happening.
Life, dude.
Yeah. So
that honestly,
and I just like haven't processed any of it because I'm just like, gotta keep working. Maybe if I keep working, it'll make sense at the end of the road. After I make my 50th project, I'll be able to.
What's your best case scenario? What's your worst case scenario? Let's say 10 years from now.
I want to have a fortified compound in like the northern
Mexico, of course.
No, not in Mexico, because
this guy speaks fluent Spanish.
Out in like the foothills of northern New Mexico, and just have some kids, and maybe learn how to plant a garden, or do something that has nothing to do with this stuff. I have my first New York Times op-ed that's supposed to come out pretty soon.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So maybe I'll like become a writer or something.
Okay. You're still impressed with the New York Times?
I just wanted an op-ed.
But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to say, I get it. But I'm not going to say you're more powerful than them, but like, it's a pretty, and I say this as a subscriber to both New York Times and Channel 5. That's a equal trade-off. Having you, they should be as excited to have you as you're excited to be in there.
Well, I hope they are, but yeah.
They're not, but whatever.
Sometimes I just don't understand how any of this is happening.
But I also know you know enough about media to know why it's happening.
Yeah, but it's like, how am I in this position?
Because
why isn't it somebody else?
The same reason Rogan is. It's the same reason, because there was an abdication of power by all these. There are no moral authority. There's no ethical. There's no authority. So then,
so you think?
I don't think you're heroic. I just think you're like, okay, so you just stand here and interview people and let people draw their own conclusion. Okay, it's hard. I have to edit it myself. You got to drive around an RV. You're in Reno, shitty hotels.
Must have something to do with the collapse of institutional media.
There's everything to do with
it. And the distrust that people have in that stuff, so that they see me and they're like, this is the guy. And I actually am pretty genuine. But it's weird because like it was only 8 years ago that I was like hitchhiking around the U.S. and stuff. It's just, I don't know. Life's just crazy, man. Life's like, it's really insane. I wish other people knew what I was saying. Like, it's just insane.
I think people know. I mean, if people don't know what you're saying now, then because life's never been more insane. And I'm not even talking about your experience in life. Everyone, I think, if they're not paying attention, which most people aren't. But like, this is fucking crazy what's happening on the earth right now. Just in general, I think it's, at one point during the George Floyd stuff, a buddy of mine was like, yeah, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, JFK all got shot within 5 years of each other.
I feel like we're in a time like that.
Yeah.
I'm getting sued by Trump too.
Oh, true? For what?
Yeah. Just platforming Hunter Biden, saying that Trump and Epstein were friends. Got a cease and desist from Melania this morning.
Personally, Melania.
Yeah, I think he didn't want it to come from him.
That's really interesting.
Because he's like, fuck. I don't mean, I'm not saying Trump's afraid of us, but I'm saying like, I feel like Trump's scrambling right now to make it seem like he had no connection to Epstein.
It's so weird.
All Hunter Biden did in our recent interview, the second one, was just suggest that they were friends. And we have a cease and desist coming from Melania's attorneys. It's like, we're going to sue you if you don't remove this video by tomorrow.
He said Melania and him, that's how they may have. He actually, I noticed the language.
Yeah.
He said they may have been introduced by, and is that what it's about? How's all that doing on your nervous system, dude?
Oh, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
well, there's where that mushroom. It's a shield.
And I'm just burnt out. Like, you know what I mean, from like cortisol.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Does it worry you?
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, I'm like less.
Not the that specific lawsuit. The cortisol burnout.
No, it's awesome. Like I can read the worst thing about myself and I feel nothing.
You think? What do you make of that? If you weren't you, what would you think of someone saying that?
Oh, that they were crazy? you know. But for me, I look at all the positives in life, and I'm just so grateful for where I'm at. Even though I said it's crazy, I just love that I can support my mom, and I helped my dad buy a sports bar. It was always his dream, and I'm getting my grandma an apartment. So it's those kind of things where I'm like, I'll take the frustration of fame or whatever.
What about jet skis? Where are we?
Well, we're not there yet, but that's specifically because I don't have any of my childhood friends around anymore.
You have 9 jet skis. You're just waiting for them to come back.
I don't have jet skis, but now I could afford jet skis, which is sick.
Yeah.
Problem with jet skis is like after 30 minutes on the water, you're like, this is boring.
I mean, 30.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, it depends where you're at, because I took one in Laughlin, Nevada on the Colorado River, and they let you go forever, so you can like pull it to the side and climb off of rocks and jump off of them and stuff. But if you're just in like a circular limited waterway, it
gets boring. It's 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And you just go like, I'm going to go there. And then you go, okay, what else? Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, the most fun I've ever had maybe in my life was jet skiing in Puerto Rico. It was like the waves were like 5-6 feet, and the guys who ran the jet ski company were Puerto Rican. So it was real fucking fun.
Yeah.
They didn't have a lot of rules and a lot of like, you can't. It was just like fucking,
were you like trying to ride the barrel sideways, or were you facing the waves head on?
You know, Andrew, that's a great question. Both,
dude, because I'm picturing you right now like catching an ill ass.
I went up the you would literally, I'd be laughing, and then you fucking it was so fucking fun.
Yeah, and I'm sure you signed like a death waiver beforehand, so you could.
I don't know what, I may not have signed anything.
Or maybe
that's
the
what's
Puerto
so great
Rican
about
judicial system just.
That's what I'm saying. It's a little. They do things a little differently down there.
Yeah.
Okay. So the workaholism, it is rewarding. I think you're having the experience that a lot of people are having, which is, or a lot of people in entertainment or YouTube or content, whatever you want to call it, which is, this is exhilarating and very stressful.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one to pay more attention to, because they kind of offset each other.
Yeah.
So you're like, I don't want to complain, but at the same time, I don't have any cortisol left. Mm-hmm. My synapses are so fucking fried. Mm-hmm. But my mom's got your dad's got a sports bar. I don't remember the litany, but so, and it probably goes. You probably think all things at the same time.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll hear a song, and I'll just get real emotional because it's like it taps into a part of the brain that's like gone away.
Taps into the part of that, and you remember that part of the brain.
Yeah, it reminds me of being younger. Like,
yeah,
it's more hopeful.
Well, what's your worst? What the guys that you've had falling outs with? Is it all like, you use me? You're an egomaniac? You're a narcissist? You don't care about anything.
All you care about is fame.
Yeah,
it's not true.
He cares about jet skis and Mexico as well. And I want Your Honor, let the record show that. You got to be ready. If there's one thing I'm not messing around with this summer, it's my deodorant. Mando deodorant. Man, I was really doing the 90s voiceover there, guys, and I blew it. Mando deodorant and sweat control is built for this season. Blocks odor all day, controls sweat too. Powerful on pits, but gentle on skin. This isn't your typical drugstore stick. It's a high-performance pit shield. Whether I'm riding my bike, grilling in 90-degree weather, chasing my kids around the yard, I don't do any of this. Trying to survive around a pickleball? Also not me. Heading to the lake? Don't like lakes. Working outside in the sun? Not into it. Going to a baseball game? Couple years ago. Jumping in a bouncy house? Nope. Roasting marshmallows? Not since last October. Sitting on a pleather patio chair? Okay. Mando keeps my pits fresh and dry. What do I particularly like most about Mando? I love Mount Fuji, and I really use the product, and that I'm actually proud that they are sold at Target now, because I follow it. It's good. It doesn't streak. I can put my t-shirt on and I don't look in the mirror and then I have a big deodorant streak on it. Look, Mando was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code NEAL at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. Shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Mando's got you covered. Protect your pits. Smell great doing it. Also, think about this. If you're getting 20% off site-wide, buy more stuff than less. If you buy one thing, you only get 20% off one. You know what I mean? Make the promo code work for you. You ever go to the doctor and then you're like, you wait and you fill stuff out and then nothing. They go, you're okay. Or they just go like, yeah, you should give it. We'll give maybe it might go away. No real data, no game plan, just a pat on the back. That's what. Okay, so basically what happened was we're all in the dark as to what's happening in our bodies, what works for us, what's happening. We live in a black box. These people, Superpower, they send a licensed professional to your home, or you can visit a nearby lab. They do a blood draw, and then they check 100 biomarkers, way more than what you'd usually get, which unlocks so much about your own body. You just need more information. We have access. Now we have the science, we just don't really use it. So their app includes detailed information on your heart, liver, thyroid, hormones, metabolism, vitamin and mineral levels, and even environmental toxins. So from disease prevention to treating that annoying brain fog or simply optimizing your gym game, Superpower is the most comprehensive and advanced system out there. So now that I got Superpower, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have a little bit of money, and I've kind of been doing stuff like this on my own before Superpower. Right now, I'm switching to Superpower because they can tell me supplements, they can give me nutritional guidance, they can do lifestyle and behavioral adjustments, which I used to have to go to a guy. I'd have to email him. He'd give me one of those auto replies, like I'm out of the office. Like, dude, you just emailed me. Anyhow, you even get your true biological age that you can track over time. My guess is you're going to get older, but if maybe slower now. Superpower used to cost $4.99, but right now it's just $199 for the full experience. That's more affordable than anything else out there. Other testing services charge $500, $1,000, sometimes more for similar or less. Look, they sent me a sweatshirt, which I got to say, I just started the program. The guy just came and took my blood, so I don't know what's going to happen, but this is a nice you can't really tell, but can you hear it? You can't? Basically, they come and take your blood, and then now they're going to tell me all the biomarkers. And like I said, I used to pay more money, and now I'm paying $199, and I'm excited about it. Head to superpower.com to learn more and lock in the special $199 price while it lasts. After you sign up, we'll ask you how you heard about them. Please make sure to mention this podcast to support the show. Your biology decoded, your blueprint activated with Superpower. Okay, keeping substance abuse at bay, because that all leads in, that dovetails nicely.
Thankfully, I only ever dabbled in cocaine because it helped me drink alcohol better.
Do you like drinking?
Yeah.
You said you like cocaine.
I liked cocaine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why'd you correct me? What does that mean?
I don't do it anymore.
Oh, you had to hard stop.
Well, it just makes me kind of annoying.
In what way?
I just never stop talking. I think it's a pretty common cocaine experience.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I just
Anything?
tell random strangers too much.
Brag? Are you braggy?
No, I'm not braggy. I'm just life story. It's just it makes you like an Uber driver from hell every time you do it.
And do you? So you were like, all right, that's enough. It wasn't. Yeah. There was no Would you have an emotional hangover to go with a real hangover?
Yeah, that as well. And I've been dating the same girl for 3 years now, and she's sober, so it's just when I still do drink here and there, but now I can keep it contained now, because she goes to bed at 10 o'clock, so it's I can go to happy hour with my friends, get home, and still be there and present. Whereas if we had a bag, I'd be sleeping on the couch, getting home at 5, feeling like a piece of shit. She's getting ready for work or whatever, seeing me laid up, snoring, looking like a moron.
How's the relationship going?
It's great, man.
How's she feel about your schedule?
She doesn't like it.
You're kidding. Nobody saw that coming.
She doesn't like it, but she understands it because I said she went to work because I wanted to sound like I had a 2-partner working household, but she does not, in fact, work.
We don't need to get into all that.
She takes care of the dogs, though, which is a serious thing. We have 4 dogs. So every morning.
One more, it's illegal, right? Isn't there a limit?
I don't know, but we're probably going to get more and get some more land. So she has to take care of our dogs, and 2 of them are rescues, and they have epilepsy. So she's always like saving their life.
Oh, got it. All right. Well, yeah, I'm not talking about whether she works or not. What, there's no suspicion of like fame or like, what do you?
No, she met me like right after the like worst controversy of my life when like everyone thought I was a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about that. Tell us about the worst controversy.
Yeah, it was just a bad situation, after the HBO film.
So you make an HBO film called
This Place Rules.
Right. Which they aired a little?
They aired it. It's still there.
Okay.
They just halted promotion for it.
Got it. Okay. And why did they halt promotion?
Just a whole bunch of cancel shit.
It was I remember it was girls and Twitter or girls and DMs.
Sounds about right. But I wasn't on some like super weird shit.
It was just like, let's meet up.
No, dude, it was. I'll get into it more at some point in a more distinguished manner.
I got you.
But yeah, it was.
No offense taken.
It still destroyed my life at the time.
Yeah.
So after things kind of fell apart, I started going to sobriety meetings. Not so much because I had a problem, but I was so depressed that I knew that if I were to drink through those feelings, I would become hopelessly alcoholic. Just because, drinking is fun as a social activity to bond with people. It takes on a different form when it's used as like an antidepressant because it's short acting, and then the hangover boomerang is really bad. So if you're feeling like shit and you go and drink, it'll work to make you feel better. You get hammered. By the end of the night, you'll be feeling all right. But then you wake up, those same feelings that you were covering up will come back twice as hard, which will then make you want to drink twice as much.
And you'll have anxiety.
And that will just continue to skyrocket, and it's that hair of the dog cycle. So I figured I would just go to sobriety meetings with the purpose of just having a place to go and having a community of some kind during that time. And that's how I met her.
Oh, great.
So it's like, on the contrary, her friends were like, don't date this guy.
Yeah.
I've read about this guy. He's a piece of shit. And so, but she met me and she's like, this guy's actually awesome. And he told me what really happened. And so, long story short, I know that she's a real one because she had every incentive to not date me. It's like the reverse. It was like I had negative clout tokens at that time.
When you had the dust up, did you feel like I should have never done corporate media? Because I remember when you signed the deal with HBO, I was like, I don't know. I don't see the appeal. Meaning because I'm from the old media, anything new media, I'm like, that's it.
Well, I like doing one-off pieces with like institutional media just as a signal that we still can. Because there's a certain cohort of people out there.
Who's we? We still can. Like
people,
the street
in
urchins?
New media, like the youngsters that like we can still cross over and then bounce back without selling out. So I'll never do a series probably for Netflix or Hulu or HBO, but I certainly will do a documentary or maybe a really small limited run series. But more than anything, I was just tired of being called a YouTuber. By media outlets. Every time I did something, they'd say YouTuber or Gen Z influencer or liberal.
What'd they call you for Hunter Biden?
YouTuber.
Then you're back to YouTuber.
Yeah. They don't acknowledge the movie, but it's I just wanted to be called something different. That's why I'm excited about the New York Times op-ed because maybe they'll say like published writer or something. I don't know. I get real. I told somebody today. It's like. I was talking to Bobby Lee today, and he everybody I know still wants to do movies and TV shows, and I go, it's like wanting to have sex with Morgan Fairchild, just like these old. You're like, why? She's 70 now. Yeah,
like there's young people.
Yeah,
like YouTube is the fact that you have zero editorial oversight.
Yeah.
Is so crazy to me, and so as an old person, I'm like, dude, that shit is like beautiful.
Well, it's kind of sad because like the group that was attempting to like bait me into a big like civil cash payout around the controversy, which I'll talk about maybe in a book or something
at a later date. Yeah.
in text messages and stuff, they were like, we want a piece of your fat HBO check. So like that group believed that HBO was giving me like millions of dollars
automatically
because they are still coming from a position of like, oh shit, so it's kind of sad. Like I was doing like $1 million merch drops and all these cool things online, and then HBO paid me like $40K for 2 years of work.
I know.
And then this group that's out there who's like not in my world is like, all right, now's the time to see if we can get some money out of Andrew. And then they do that whole thing. And I was like, fuck, even when they were asking me for money, I wanted to be like, God, you guys should have done this during the merch drop.
Yeah. No, that's it. People don't know where the money's from.
But I mean, people hear HBO and they think money. Yeah. And so they kind of put that plan together after the trailer was released.
Do you feel... I bought the Kelly.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah, I bought it again before I even DM'd you. Like I'm telling you, I'm an actual fan. What's the name of that movie?
Dear Kelly.
Dear Kelly. But it's just about a guy who you just see like screaming MAGA and flags and conspiracies, and like what's actually happening. And the movie covers like his family and how he started doing it and why he's doing it and what are the underlying mental health things and whatever. It had way more of an arc than I thought it would. So I was like grateful for that because it wasn't homeworky.
Appreciate it.
How do you feel about selling shit direct to consumer like that?
Dope. It was
okay?
awesome.
So you prefer that as a business model?
Okay, so check it out. I made 6 times as much revenue off of Dear Kelly than I did from the HBO film.
$240,000 by my calculations. Go ahead.
More than that.
Okay, great.
But all of the money, unfortunately, has gone back into legal fees fighting a lawsuit related to the film.
Got it.
It's such bullshit.
Yeah.
But the point is, it was a net zero.
Which, by the way, when you're with a corporation, they would cover those fees, but they give you less money.
So I had to spend all the Dear Kelly money from the tour and the thing, fighting this guy Bill Joyner in court. But on the bright side, 60,000 people rented Dear Kelly. 60,000 individuals went to a website like it's 2002, like it's the Bum Fights DVD, and they go to dearkellyfilm.com and
how dare you to bring up Bum Fights
and they buy it for $5.55 and they watch it. So I talk to people in the film industry. And
what did everybody pay?
$5.55.
Yeah. Great.
And I talked to everybody in the film industry, and they're like, "Man, you're kind of the talk of the town right now. Like, people can't believe you did it that way or whatever." But yet, there's not one write up in the press about it. There's the only Variety. You know what the Variety article about that said? It was basically like canceled YouTuber explains how a MAGA patriot saved his life.
Because you're complaining about people that are so tone deaf, and you're still looking for their blessing. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I tried to say to Bobby today. It's like, why do you still, as a guy who had a network, I'm on Netflix and all that shit, but like, if this model is it's not, you don't get articles written about you. It's just not as pressy.
Yeah.
But you are the press, dude.
You think so?
I know it. You are. I don't give a shit about Variety. If I want to know about, fentanyl in Tijuana or in Albuquerque, I got your stories mixed up.
Tijuana.
And if you want to know about the Amazon factory in Tijuana, they covered the sign. I watched the whole fucking thing. And I've got a ground news. Fucking ground
Dope ass news aggregate.
What's the promo code?
Channel 5.
Yeah. I actually like ground news, but
I like ground news too.
But that we're all looking for validation from these antique ass fucking institutions is silly.
It's dumb. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just think it's cool to like.
It's wrong with everybody.
Yeah.
Rogan's the only one who truly does not care about this shit. I don't think. I mean, from what I gather, but like, I don't think he was trying to get on Spotify. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he was pining for a deal. So what I'm saying is, like, just enjoy the freedom. It just feels, weirdly, it feels like you're in an RV by yourself. It's not like the red carpet and the thing and the publicist and all that shit that you never really experienced anyway.
Yeah, and the publicist at HBO assigned me. Boy, were they bad.
Great.
Fuck.
Yeah, because...
Crisis PR. Oh, my God.
Yeah, dude.
I can't wait to write this goddamn book, man.
Yeah, because by the way, you could go direct to consumer with that. I'm sure you won't because you'll get the advance and do all that. But like,
It was crazy. After the controversy, they were like, all right, we're gonna make a statement on your behalf, man. Seriously gonna turn the tides on this whole scandal. And they just printed it said, Andrew Callaghan is devastated. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Did you read it before they released it?
No. I mean, I was like, what? And they were like...
They did release that, right?
Yes.
I remember reading it and being like...
They sent it to like NBC and they were like, you've expressed remorse. I'm like...
I know, I pictured you with like a dog cone on your head. Like, you're devastated. Like, Andrew, what did you do?
Yeah. It's, man, there's just so much I want to say. Because, oh man, I can't wait to be...
The problem is so many people have gotten canceled for sexual stuff that... And they all say, there's so much I want to say. I can't yet, but I know why you're not, but like...
I'm going to. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they all say that too. But, okay, and what do you do? Again, similar block here, which is how do you build relationships when constantly moving?
As far as making new friends?
Well, you have that as a block, and I was thinking about this in my own life. When you meet up with somebody who's like, in the middle of a tour or they do what you do, when you're sitting across from each other, this is how it feels. Hey man, so how's it going? Yeah, cool. All right, I gotta go. Like it just feels like they're on a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
And you're watching them go past and you feel less than because you're not on the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
And that you can tell they have a different ecosystem that they're in, like, oh, that's my driver, that's my da-da-da-da-da, and it's bad for human connection.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still able to make friends, but I have some good friends already. But as far as making relationships on the road, you just got to be careful.
But I'm wondering, like, they would be the friends that you make here, I would think, right?
Yeah, I just have my guy Saddam, he's probably my best buddy.
Y'all look like some Halo troopers. Do you plan on shooting people today?
He's the co-host of Channel 5, but he doesn't work for it. He just like does jobs here and there. He's awesome.
Is he the guy who wears the mask?
Yeah, that's probably my best friend here. Yeah, I don't know. I just I'm okay with less friends now. I heard that was gonna happen when I got to be in my like late 20s, early 30s. Yeah. You're okay with having 5 friends? Because I used to have like 5 million.
Yeah.
But I'm cool with it because I like them. And I don't need to meet a bunch of new people.
You also don't have that much time.
Yeah. Also, like
once you get the new dogs, the other dogs are still having seizures.
And like now that I'm not single, it's like I like my girlfriend and the dogs and my friends. I'm good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is you don't. What do you make when they talk about like most Americans say they have no friends? Is there a part of you that?
I think that's true.
I agree.
Yeah. You know why? It's
I don't feel that negatively about it, though.
I mean, it's fine. It's because of the planning of cities, man. It's the car infrastructure in suburbia and the tall fences and just the way things are designed. There's no parks anymore. I mean, if there are, they're just like covered in tweakers and gangbangers. Shit, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to sound like a dystopian
No, I know. That's
California
what's funny is like
hater.
you go to a park and it's like parks are not for people.
No. That's the coolest thing about like Europe in general is you can make friends in the streets and shit. People don't have friends here anymore. I mean, I like I said, I have friends, but I think a lot of people are lonely. Suburbia is a massive sprawl. Not to mention rich people generally aren't really nice to each other. And they're jealous. And so if you have
constantly suing each other over tree lines.
Exactly. And as things get more expensive in the cities, you have more rich people and they're jealous of each other. Even now, I live in a nicer area. I've never had more cold dynamics with the greater neighborhood community.
Yeah.
When I had no money, it was like my neighbors were like the coolest people ever. I could just knock on the door, roll in, get some iced tea, and keep moving. Or we would eat dinner together and share stuff.
A friend of mine who grew up poor in like Bed-Stuy, I think, said there was something sweet about growing up because it was like socialism. Like everyone's kind of broke, and everyone kind of has the same amount of money, and they have the same. There's not much of a hierarchy. It's a way flatter hierarchy, and it's like kinder.
Yeah.
For that reason, obviously there's a lot of the crime and stuff, but like the general vibe of like, hey, people introduce yourself now. You're like, hey, like you get automatically. Sebastian Maniscalco has a great joke about
20 years ago, your doorbell rang. That was a happy moment in your house. The whole family shot off the couch. Oh my God! Now your doorbell rings? It's like, what the fuck?
I think that amongst like the uber rich, there probably is that like, hey, you can borrow my yacht, you know what I mean? But in terms of what they call the petite bourgeois and Marxist, dialogue and stuff, which is the rich of the inner city, the people that order all their meals on Uber Eats and you see at Equinox, they're not friends. Not everybody. No. But, most.
And even their friends, they're not really friends with.
No.
They don't like their friends.
So I think that's why, as you have on one hand, the rich inner cities with very little social connections, and then you have sprawling suburbia, which is becoming lower and lower income and more depressing.
Don't you want to do, because I feel like you're edging toward, you're very civic minded.
Yeah.
So all this stuff, and it's a shame. I mean, I was going to say it's a shame you can't run for office. Obviously you could, but you see what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the amount of fucking fundraising they have to do would just be like soul crushing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not, I don't know if there's a way around it other than maybe AOC, but she's constantly has, I don't know, like whatever, like in terms of like being a good fundraiser automatically.
Yeah. I think that a lot of that civic stuff has to do with just growing up in Seattle, witnessing the gentrification that sort of like forced us out of the city, and just like the cultural erosion and like tech takeover and having friends become homeless around 18 because they couldn't afford apartments downtown.
And you think reporting on it, that's your contribution to helping?
Yeah. I mean, it's all I can really do. I can't run for office. I mean, I know that raising awareness doesn't always fix things, but hopefully it can chip away at like the way the public thinks about them.
Yeah.
Which could then cause people to treat people better.
Yeah.
In the world, or maybe vote for causes that lead to positive change.
You were always I'm assuming you were empathetic, and then has you become more so?
Yeah.
As you've been doing it?
Probably. I mean, I'm just not mean. People always say, how are you so empathetic to people? I'm like, what's the other option? Am I supposed to act like Yucko the Clown? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just nice. I don't call people names or like disparage them. I'm just very deadline driven. I will finish a documentary when I say it's going to get done, even if it means I don't sleep much and I have to sacrifice socializing. But I mean, it's just part of the game for me. I'm in it to win it. I'm not in it to be in last place or second place. I'm sort of Rocky Balboa minded when it comes to this documentary game.
Yeah.
There's no participation trophies in media. It's cutthroat.
What's funny is it though? Because I feel like you don't. Are there? But I know there isn't like seeing it all like the sort of the corporate ones. Mm-hmm. But is it in your? Is there a guy that you're like, or woman or whoever who you like, where you're like, we got to get there before so and so gets there?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is you don't even know who you're racing, but you're just racing the others.
It's funny. I know, but people would rather talk to you.
Like we beat the media to Hunter Biden,
right? How?
Because he was a fan of our shit, and he knew that our business model is mostly Patreon crowdfunded, so we don't have an investor or some senior editor making us spin something a certain way. And I had a Zoom call with him, and he took my sincerity at face value and was like, you got no reason to fuck me over, so why don't you fly out to Delaware and we can sit down for an interview.
When you're like, I have to do this Zoom with Hunter, did you want to get it, or were you just like,
I couldn't believe it. It was the coolest shit ever. I was so excited. When he called me, I was like, no way. Because even when my attorney told me, like, yo, Hunter Biden wants to talk to you, and, I think you guys should connect, I was like, yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
So I took a Zoom call, and my first thought is, I'm like, this guy's the homie. I thought he was going to be insane. But he was the chillest fool.
Had you not watched anything with him before? He always seemed pretty like...
Well, he did a controlled interview back in 2020 on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, or Jimmy Fallon, but that was 3.5 minutes when he's covered in makeup promoting a book.
Yeah.
I had only really seen the discourse about him surrounding like the laptop and everything.
Yeah.
I knew about the crack.
We all knew about the crack. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested in the conflict within you. Because it just seems like you want to help people, and then you feel betrayed, and I bet they have a just as good a monologue as you do about you as you do about them. And I've been them, I've been you. I personally.
I'll say this about myself. I prioritize work over personal relationships. I'm so passionate about what I'm doing that I will get things done at the expense of my own health and also other people's feelings. And that's something that it's just a sad truth, but just to keep it real,
Have you had like a headbutt with your girlfriend about this?
All the time, man, because she's just like, you don't have to cover this. You don't have to make this documentary. Things happen all the time. You don't have to chase the news like this. And she's right. I'm the one who's wrong. I may be good at what I do, but I could make half as much stuff and it would still have the same impact. I'm trying to figure out how to slow down the frenetic pace while maintaining the integrity and good intentions.
What are you weighing?
Getting beat by other people.
Who?
I don't know.
I mean, you're not wrong. I just like, it's funny. There's a guy in a shittier suit who's taller, and you know what I mean, like
taller,
like taller, weirder hair, flatter affect.
To, like, create this like boogeyman, like this, like 7 foot tall.
Yeah, you're just being like slowly chased by a guy who doesn't have any facial expressions. Like, so what's up? And you're like, fucking.
That's so good.
Yeah, I mean that is I guess that's kind of all you need to worry about.
There's a lot of people out there who could beat me.
I don't think no one could beat you, but I know what it takes. You know what I think about some of these social media jobs now? I think people are just, it's going to be like attrition. I think people are going to, like that girl, Emma Chamberlain, who like made great YouTube videos.
She did.
Then was like, I'm gonna make a coffee, and I'm gonna make a coffee company, and then she was like, I'm never doing any social media videos again, because that was a fucking kind of a horror on my life. It's almost like public service, like compulsory. It's like the Jewish military, like everybody should have to do it for 3 years, and then you're kind of like done.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people come and go, and my goal is longevity. You know, I want to be 75 still doing this, and it's crazy that that's true. I would have done this for like 55 years, and that's possible. 75 is not even old.
Probable, yeah.
Most journalists who you see in the field are in their 60s. Anderson Cooper's like 65. That's 40 years from
I don't
now.
think he's that old, is he? Mike Wallace and those motherfuckers were like, Leslie Stahl's late 70s.
Either way, like that's not old. Like you can be a 75-year-old gonzo journalist, and I want to continue doing that. And Hunter Thompson, he passed away when he was 64. I don't want to pass away that young.
I think you could, I mean, the cortisol is not good for you, but like,
it's good to have cortisol. You know, it's the panic feeling, right?
Yeah, but to a point.
Well, I'm sure that if there was someone with a gun to my face, I would feel something.
You'd find it in you.
I just mean,
you dig deep.
I just mean for like social media, like negative online discourse.
Yeah. But okay, but what about the New Mexico dream?
Oh, well, that's possible. Well, I mean, I have a new RV getting built right now. It's like a hollowed out ambulance with like a sick ass editing bay and news desk in the back and a Murphy bed that folds down that I spent like all my money on. So I might live there for a while, and the New Mexico ranch would just be a place for me to park it.
Okay.
And blow off steam and go in the hot springs.
What about the expansion
of Channel 5?
Yeah.
Well, it can be done.
Right, but how do
I make it happen?
How do you find people that are like you enough that are willing to just kill themselves, and you're going to take a piece of it?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to. So I got to give.
How would you? I mean, then you would just put their shit on.
Well, I just ask people to maybe go like 50% as hard as me. That's enough, or 75.
But but you'll put it on Channel 5.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like my buddy Josue in Mexico City, dude, he's a big workhorse.
What do you think about gentrification?
About what?
Gentrification.
Gentrification?
This guy does like 4 stand-up shows a week and still finds time to squeeze out Channel 5 content.
Gentrification.
Oh, I think it's important.
What are you worried about?
Nothing.
Are you worried about the future of America?
No.
Because you think we're doomed either way? You think we're going to make it either way? Do you think like to that 1960s analogy, like, yeah, we go through crazy periods and we come out of it?
I think people will find a way to survive, and I think it'll be very interesting. You know, there might be some different states that emerge. We could have like a Balkanization where there's maybe Texas could become Serbia, and there could be like different little I don't know.
I have a whole different theory. I
want to know what you think, because you've been around for longer than me.
I think in 15 to 20 years, there may be 3 countries.
And what's that going to be? Middle of the country, Eastern Seaboard?
No. I mean China, America, and probably Russia. And I think everybody else, there's not going to be client states anymore. I think everyone else is just going to go, our country's not big enough to field an army. And so Russia, China, or America is probably going to invade us, or we can just go. I think climate, AI, I have no idea. I have no fucking idea. It could be the end of the earth. It could be we live forever. I don't know. It's a pretty huge coin toss. It's a pretty big binary. But I honestly believe, like, the way I see it in my head is like people with declining birth rates, people aren't going to be able to have armies. So then what are they going to do? Then they're just subject to, I think they're just going to go like, can we join?
15 to 20 years.
Maybe less.
Okay, well, shit. I guess we'll have to do a podcast round 2 around
Yeah,
that.
no, if you hear what I'm saying,
I hear you.
Like, it's gonna be crazy. I also think climate and declining birth rates.
Yeah, all those things are real.
And I think there's gonna be weird downstream effects.
For sure, I could see that.
But you're either gonna be in an ambulance RV, Mexico, New Mexico,
yeah,
or not New York, not L.A.
I like L.A. and maybe Philadelphia.
But down Philly, where are you gonna be, hon?
I'll be I like Northern Liberties, but I like South Philly the best because it's the only part of Philly. It's exactly the same as it was when I was a kid.
Got it. What years were you there?
1997 to 2008.
All right. You were born in 96?
97.
97. I grew up in Villanova.
You're from the Philly area?
Yeah, bro.
You should have said that.
I know, but I don't.
Ago,
but then it becomes that.
Oh, then we got to do Philly talk the whole
time.
time.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, while you go to fucking Ben Salem.
It becomes fucking unrelatable to the entire audience.
Yeah, nobody likes it. Guys, Andrew Callaghan, I hope you got a sense of him. Watch all of his shit. Like I said, besides his partner, Hunter, he's just a great objective. It's very valuable.
Well, thanks so much for having me on.
You got it, bro.
I really
Good to meet you, bro.
appreciate it. It was dope.
Yep. Peace, man.